Shoko, can you hear me?
Hi, Nadia. Can you hear me?
Yes, very well. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you for taking my question. So French health authority recommended today that only a single shot of vaccine should be given to people who had been previously infected. I'd like to ask Dr. O'Brien for your comment. Explain WHO's position for the number of times for COVID-19 vaccines. Thank you.
I think we have O'Brien's and Ryan's here. I suspect that was for Kate. Okay, maybe Sumia.
Thank you, Dr. Swaminathan.
Yes, so I must say that journalists are really keeping on top of the science and challenging us to be on top of it as well. This is a minute-to-minute update. But yes, so the WHO has a policy-making body for immunizations called SAGE, the Strategic Advisory Group of Experts on Immunization. They've existed for 22 years now, and they really make recommendations on the use of vaccines. We've had three policy recommendations from SAGE, first on the Pfizer vaccine, then on the Moderna vaccine, and just 2 days ago on the 10th of February on the AstraZeneca vaccine. And so each of these recommendations, which are on our website, they're called interim recommendations because they can be updated as more data becomes available, lay out clearly how this vaccine can be used, what's the age group, what's the dosing schedule, etc. And that's for countries then to adapt and make their own policy recommendations on use of vaccines. Now, some regulatory agencies and countries are looking more closely into the data that they have from individual vaccines and making decisions on age groups, but also on what you just mentioned is that a single dose is enough if you've had the natural infection before. And that's based on immunogenicity studies from the vaccine trials, particularly from the AstraZeneca trial, which showed that if you have people who've had a previous infection and you measure the antibody levels after the first dose, you're getting a really good booster, as much as you would get in people who have no prior infection and who get 2 doses. So essentially, the first infection is serving as a first dose, and then your first dose of vaccine is serving as a booster. Now, again, more studies are needed, longer follow-up is needed to find out, how long this kind of recommendations on. But as far as WHO is concerned, our guidelines are still to use 2 doses for the vaccines that we've evaluated so far.